Hey, this is not a geographic podcast.
Like I didn't know that Japan was either straight north or straight south.
It's a 12-hour flight.
He's the big D.
Oh, is that what it is?
Amongst other reasons.
Oh. Wait for it. The Catholic Church.
Oh, wow.
Big cat going there.
That's far turning.
1, 2, 3, 4.
G-E-N Tolman.
Is that how you spell it?
Cody's showing off his
Okay.
spelling chops. What a beauty.
I like how you started out strong, then just ended with Entleman. So,
Gentlemen.
He's going to work on the second half of the word next week.
Yes, we'll get there. Boys, I missed you so much. It's a new week. We have officially reached a round number, episode 20. That's almost like season 1 of Grey's Anatomy, guys.
we're halfway through
It's
a
about
pregnancy.
time. It's about time.
And we have not been canceled yet. Boys, I missed you. It's the middle of December. The holidays are upon us. We're all watching the Christmas movies, Christmas shows.
That's right.
So many. We're rewatching it.
Got the trees. Got the
Yes,
lights.
my wife said, man, Elf is so funny. I feel like I haven't seen it in such a long time. And I said, like 365 days? Like, that's like what else? We watch it every year.
It's longer than
Because
that.
I watched it with you.
Yes,
So,
there's
yeah,
zero
yeah.
chance. So,
Yeah, false.
oh boy. But welcome to the Juice Boys show. I'm the third turd, Cody. We got Juice Boy Joe, Mr.
So.
Pelletier. So happy that you joined us on this Friday. We got, what do we got? We got a big potato, our big tot of the day. We got the Wheel of Degeneracy. We got our picks. We got a sports talk, and we got a lot of squeezes from you people.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to talk here, boys.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Good.
So we're
Good.
wish us luck. Chris, what are the 3 Bs? Today's your quiz day. Do you?
Thanks.
Ooze. Ooh. Definitely not brotherhood.
Yes. Hey, congratulations.
I have that written above my computer.
I know, but I like
No
it.
brotherhood allowed.
I
No.
like it.
Booze, Bed Bath and Beyonding, and bullshit.
Close enough.
right.
Closer than Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, but what about the 3 Ls, Joe? You remember the 3 Ls?
No. That was like 15 episodes ago.
Love,
laughter, legal paperwork, because we're in-laws.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that was it.
There you go.
I think
No,
we
good thing we stuck
abandoned
with
it
the
because
Bs.
it was
Yeah, 'cause
just
it was terrible.
that not funny.
Yeah.
The last couple of times.
It was
we
that
tried
lame that it
Yeah,
fizzled.
like, no.
Boys, before we get into the docket, what are we consuming? What adult beverage do we have? Christopher.
Oh.
Christoph.
You know, Cody inspired me with the mixies of recent, so I made myself a little Manhattan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Christmas
dude.
time of year makes me think of Manhattans, and it's delicious.
What's the booze? You don't want to say, do you? Because it's your.
Maker's Mark.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you had a 1 and
I'll
2
take
shot.
that.
If you said Stranans, you're getting booted off. Chris. Or no, that's not your name. Joe.
Hello.
What's your.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Yeah. So I was finally just like, you know what?
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 I'm gonna
Please tell me.
You're an adult.
What?
Okay.
And I'm tired of just going spending $30 every week on a different bottle. So I'm an adult. I just went and bought a handle, you know, and so I've got a handle of my probably right now. I don't know why I keep coming back to this, but Elijah Craig small batch. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's delicious, and it's just one of my
delicious.
favorites.
That's why you keep going back to it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just so good. And so now I'm just like, you know, there it is. So I got that. I've got Elijah Craig, so that might pop up in a couple future episodes. I hope I don't drink a handle between now and next Tuesday. You know, I still have work until Christmas break, and then it might be a different story. Nice. All right. However, now going on to my beer chaser of the day, I am keeping it local, and so local, in fact, this brewery is on the 285 corridor. For those of you who don't know, the 285 corridor going up the mountains from Denver, leading all the way to Salida, where this brewery is from. And this brewery is Elevation Beer Co., one of my favorite breweries. It's so cute and adorable, way out there near Poncha Springs. First Cast IPA, Elevation Brewing Company, phenomenal beer. And if you're into the lighter beers, their 8-second Kolsch is one of my favorite beers I've ever had. So
8 seconds.
there we
fast
go.
Kolsch.
Local pick today. Enjoy them. Get Elevation Beer Co.
Well, I was drinking a glass of water, then I looked and it looks
Cody-
like urine.
Yeah, Cody looks like he's drinking a glass
this
of
is
well-hydrated pee. Yeah.
Is that tap?
I think
my
You
God.
have a Berkey, dude. Use it. That's disgusting.
Oh, I almost took a sip.
What you
and,
get moving out of Colorado.
Wow. Well, I was drinking a glass of ice, but
Yeah,
I
that is
also
ammonia.
went local, not Rieger. I went West Bottoms whiskey, Kansas City whiskey.
There's other Kansas City whiskeys, huh?
Yes, it's located in the West Bottoms. History fact for people like Joe: West Bottoms was the name of Kansas City in the mob era. So when all the mobsters were talking from Chicago, New York, reference Kansas City as the West Bottoms, and West Bottoms is a little borough in Kansas City. What does it say here? It's excellent. What is it? Oh, pre-prohibition style Kansas City whiskey, bourbon and rye whiskeys, notes of sherry, bottled and made in Kansas City. Excellent, very smooth, a little bit of a bite, a little more heat
You
on
need to
it.
take me there next time I come out. I need to go to this place.
Yeah,
that
let's
I have a
sounds
list.
really cool.
I have a list for
That
you
sounds
both of
really
places
cool.
we.
Yeah.
So it's definitely excellent. Drink local, except for Chris, who is a butthole.
That's fair.
Sports talk. Holy shit, we got a lot to go over. Let's start with
Yes.
the transfer portal is open. The initial
Is it?
number is 1,200 players have announced they're entering the transfer portal. Is this a problem? Is this crazy? Is this good for the game for college? That's a lot for one weekend.
That is a lot.
I'm gonna let the college football aficionado go first because I've got some things to say. So go ahead, Chris.
Ooh. Well, now I feel like I need to go quick so that you can get it all out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Wild West right now. Like between COVID opening up the transfer portal rules and then NIL coming in and people moving around like absolute gangbusters. It's the Wild West right now, but the NCAA knows that they don't really have much of any teeth at the moment to kind of swing that pendulum back into something resembling cogent
Regulation.
rules. Yeah. And so I think the NCAA is just doing what they can to not piss off all of these Power 5 conferences that are benefiting from all of these players moving around as the rich keep getting richer. So yeah, I don't necessarily think that it's good, but it's
What do you
here
do?
to stay regardless. Yeah.
I don't know how you fix it, Joe. You got
College football is broken. It's broken. With what they did with the college football playoff most recently, what they've done with conference realignment, what they've done with NIL, what they've done with this. I mean, Tony Kornheiser said it best. They're not a college athlete. You're a professional athlete now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's just what this is. These kids are not collegiate athletes anymore. Caitlin Clark has no reason whatsoever to ever think about going to the WNBA, and she should stay in NCAA, and stay in college for as long as she possibly can, because she's going to make more money there than she ever could possibly think about in the WNBA. Who's saying Marvin Harrison Jr.? That kid is incredible. He can come back next year and make more money in college than he would as the number 1 overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, they're saying that he's getting NIL offers
deals.
upwards of $20 to $25 million.
$25 million. I mean, so they're like, this is it's the transfer portal is just free agency, and it's just whatever school
Massive
has
scale.
has the best boosters and whoever can bring in the best people, because they can like I should have known this name, but they were just saying that now like the game is gone, and now it is just you need to have like what do you say $20 million a year in NIL to even compete.
I think Matt Rule said $2 million just for a quarter. That was for a quarterback, for a quarterback transfer.
Yeah, $1 to $2 million in order to be able to poach away a top-tier quarterback.
Just to play the game.
It's broken. The sport is completely broken. Now, I mean, it's like now is it making for more competitive football to watch? Yeah. You know, you look back at the last Heisman Trophy winners. I think 5 of the last 6 were all transfers. You know,
That's
like,
wild.
It's wild. And so, I mean, you even go back, Cam Newton was even a transfer back in the day before the transfer portal was even a thing. He had to go down to JUCO because you couldn't transfer back then.
Right.
But he did it. So it's just, I don't know. It's creating good
Mayhem and
for the I guess for what you're seeing, the product on the field. But then what is it doing to CSU? You know, when you have the Sportsman of the Year down in Boulder, that's going to be able to pay them God knows how much. It's just, I mean, I just don't know. I don't like it. I don't.
Are the rich going to get richer? And
is that my get off my
schools?
lawn? I think that's my get off my lawn moment, but I don't like it.
Well, right now the NCAA is kicking around making a subgroup within FBS of paid versus unpaid schools to try and rein this in. They're saying that they're trying to fast track that. We'll see. I can't imagine what the hell fast tracking that would mean for an organization.
I think at this point, I think I'm more bought into the 12-team playoff. I used to not be, but if there's going to be this much going on, you can get a small team into the they have a chance to go for it. So
it has to happen. Liberty right now would be in it. I'm not saying they would win, but they're undefeated. So give them a chance to prove it. You know, I think UCF might have won the national championship if they
Mizzou would have been in. My little
expanded playoff. Mizzou had a great season. Let's go see what they can do. You know, like I said, it's just 4 teams. It's just so frustrating, dude.
We can keep talking. Maybe we'll find some solutions, and I'm sure we can get a meeting with NCAA, right? Chris, you can start working on that for us.
Yeah, I'll write a letter.
Done.
Joey, I need to read it though.
A hastily worded letter.
Yes. Quick hitter here, boys. CSU Mens Basketball. They were balling when I made the note, and then they pooped the bed against St. Mary's. But we have a local
school, though.
Yeah,
St. Mary's is legit.
They're always in the tournament. But
however,
go Rammies.
Go Rammies. 13th ranked at one point, the highest we've ever been. That's incredible.
Highest ever.
Fantastic. As I said earlier in the season, I think they might be a minimum 6 seed. They're looking right now. They might be like a 3, which is pretty incredible.
That's
you know,
huge.
so yeah. Because the rest of their season is shaping up pretty easy. They still have San Diego State twice, but if they beat them once, San Diego State was in the national championship last year. So if they're able to split that, that's going to boost them. Isaiah Stevens has got to be 45 years old by this point, and he's still dominating. He's the Bo Nix of college basketball. Like, you're
His
still there.
Knees are holding up.
There.
We'll go CSU. We'll be following. Hopefully win the Mountain West tournament here. Get a good seed. We'll be following that one. Let's jump to FSU potentially boycotting their bowl game. Chris, you made this. I was not aware of this. Please educate.
All right. So over the weekend, there were reports or there's been rumors swirling that either FSU or potentially FSU and Georgia could potentially be boycotting the Orange Bowl after FSU feels that they were snubbed. I'm sure Georgia probably feels their toes were stepped on as well, going from 1st to 6th.
I think
after a 3-point loss
from 29 straight wins.
Yeah, and so this is all unconfirmed, but it's pretty wild that this is even being discussed. Kind of what brought this up was a sudden cancellation of a press conference between Georgia's Kirby Smart and Florida State's Mike Norvell, with which there's not really been any explanation as to why that was canceled. It's all being kept hush hush. It's all it's pretty nuts. I mean, it could be absolutely nothing. It could be something. I think it'd be pretty compelling, you know, in today's day and age where opting out is so common for folks that are expecting to be high draft picks in the NFL draft.
Opting out is like the culture of everything right now. It's hard. I don't want to do it. I'm opting out. I'm done.
Except if you do teams,
I'm pissed off. I want to opt out. I'm done.
And so that's the insane thing is if an entire team opts out, what the hell do you even do?
That's some lawsuit because Capital One is the sponsor of Orange Bowl. They'd
be so pissed.
There'd be a lot of lawsuits flying.
How much money what those teams are throwing away by not playing in that game. However, I think that'd be badass.
I think so too.
I think it'd be badass. But at the same time, what is it going to accomplish? What is the protest going to accomplish? They're going to 12 teams next year anyway. It's a bummer this was the last year this happened. It's a bummer you got the shaft. You know, it's just or
what does it teach the children?
I mean,
I mean, do you go and play?
You just get pissy when you don't get your way? I mean, I don't know. I just think you go play and you try to dominate and you prove like I should have been there. You know, I don't know.
All right, moving into Heismen.
Yeah.
Did they get it right?
Christophe.
Oh, it's me again. Okay.
Yeah, started off.
You're the college guy, dude.
LSU quarterback, what was his?
J.D. Daniels.
See, and that's going to be my point. Hang on.
Joey's got a point to be made, listener. So Jaden Daniels has been putting up unbelievable stats this season. He's had one bad game against Florida State in the very first game of this season, for which we actually have a squeeze coming from beloved listener Mike in Dallas, aka Big D Mike.
The third Mike in our army.
Mike Big D.
So we'll have a squeeze more on that later, but Jaden Daniels has been putting up electric stats week in, week out. The unfortunate thing is LSU couldn't do anything for the team to be nationally relevant, but they're still playing one of the hardest schedules and one of the hardest conferences, and dude's balling out.
He played extraordinarily well. He ended up having 50 touchdowns like total or something for the season, which just puts him up in like an all-time rank. What I was just going to say is the Heisman, which we're going to be talking about more later, is a prestigious honor, and it goes to, I think, yes, the best statistical player, but like just the most well-known, the most impactful player, right? The one who did the most for their team. Jaden Daniels having 50 all-purpose touchdowns is absolutely incredible. He had an unbelievable season, outstanding statistics, but where was LSU? And Cody, you didn't even know his name. And I was watching Party Interruption today, and Mike Wilbon, he admitted he didn't see him play this year because they were never nationally relevant.
Wild.
So that's wild. So the Heisman Trophy winner, yes, arguably the best player in college football this year, but I didn't see him play. I mean, I saw Marvin Harrison Jr. play, and I was like, holy crap, this kid is unbelievable. You know, I was watching him play. I saw Bo Nix play, and I was like, hey. You know, I'm not the biggest Bo Nix guy, but, you know, I was like, he's good. And I saw Michael Penix play, and I think Michael Penix should have won. I say Michael Penix has led Washington University to the number 2 overall seed, playing for a national championship, made the college football playoff. All right. I mean, it's just he had a phenomenal season. I don't think it's all about stats, and I think it's about what your individual contribution to the team and how much you specifically matter. Now, LSU might have lost 10 games without Jaden Daniels, maybe.
I was going to say, you're just making a better and better case for Jaden Daniels. Washington is in the number 2 spot, but you're saying it's individual impact, but yet I want it to be an individual who's impacting a team that's nationally relevant. So is it an individual?
Uh-oh, Joe.
Trophy, or is it a team-based?
Well, I think it's individual, and you have to have success. You have to have success to do it. Jaden Daniels lost 3 games. I remember Tebow, when he won, he was the first sophomore and the first player that won it that lost 3 games. So, I mean, there is precedent set for both. All right. I mean, I think Jaden Daniels, yeah, he was probably the best player in college football this year, right? He probably was. But I think Michael Penix was the leader of that team and is the reason why Washington is now going to be competing for a national championship. So
what there's no precedent for? Shohei Ohtani getting $700 million, which is officially, Chris checked my math, is richer than the Juice Boys show. Our total. He had to double check a few things.
Yeah,
got the calculator.
Yeah.
Harbaugh brand khakis is going to be a Fortune 500 one day, you know. But
one of these,
it's going to pay off. But $700 million Shohei Ohtani goes to the Dodgers, stays on the West Coast, close to Japan. The details just came out on this contract, guys. You thought Bobby Bonilla broke the money world. Have you heard about this, Joe?
Of course I did. I'm so angry. If you guys both didn't have squeezes, this was going to be mine this week because I was fuming.
Dear Lord, Ohtani deferred his payments for 10 years. So he's going to make $2 million a year for 10 years. Yep. And after 10 years, holy shit, he makes $68 million a year until the year 2043.
I think it's 9 years that he's going to, I think they're paying it out for 9 years after he retires.
2043 or something is when the contract's set to expire. Deferring contracts is a new King Griffey Jr. is still getting paid by the Reds. If people didn't know that. He's the 3rd highest paid player on the roster.
He's going to get more than Shohei is getting.
Oh, that's wild.
Double.
And then Bobby Bonilla has gone viral for still getting paid. I think he had about 5 more years left on his contract, and he retired in 2000.
Bobby Bonilla is like one of the biggest geniuses in sports history. He was a good player. He was an all-star, right? And when he got that big contract, he's like, this is it. This is all I'm ever going to get.
So, with that being said,
years.
Is Shohei worth $700 million?
I want to talk about this bullshit contract first.
Please give us all of it.
All right, I want to talk about this bullshit contract first, because if he was going to do this,
he could have gone anywhere, literally anywhere.
Anywhere. Could have gone anywhere. You know, and then who does he choose to go to? My most hated team in the entire league right now. They passed the damn Yankees. Is the stupid Dodgers.
Not the Phillies?
Because, no, only because of Philly fans. I really like their team, which is a real bummer. I really like their players. I love Bryce Harper. I mean, like, I just hate Philly because they're...
The electricity just got turned down like 5 or 6 notches in this rant.
Yeah, anyway. He goes to the freaking Dodgers, okay? The Dodgers, when... I would have loved to have seen him go to Toronto. Toronto is a multicultural city. They would have supported him like unbelievable. It would have grown the game in Canada. They have a great team already. He would have dominated there. Freaking dominated there. Could you imagine him and Vlad Guerrero and Bo Bichette? I mean, that would have been so much fun to watch. And I like the Blue Jays. All right. And I was just like, and you're saying, if you're just going to give this team an opportunity to bank and to save for when this eventually happens, and eventually this massive, the $70 million a year is going to happen, why the hell go there? I mean, you can go anywhere you want. And the point of him taking this deferment is for them to be able to build around him. Go to Seattle, where they got Julio Rodriguez, one of the most electric players who's coming up in the league. Go to Miami, who made the freaking playoffs this season with absolutely nobody.
He does stay in the same time zone as Japan, and he is like God in Japan.
Okay. He's 100% not in the same time zone as Japan.
Or he's in the closest time zone you can be for Japan.
Okay,
that's a different thing.
I was going to say
the entire Pacific.
Whoa there. No, he's in the closest time.
Entire Pacific.
Hey, this is not a geographic podcast.
Like, I didn't know that Japan was either straight north or straight south.
It's a 12-hour flight, and you're like, oh no, it's the same. Because it's the ocean. Nobody lives there.
No. It's the closest one. The closest time zone where they can watch his games.
This is Cody's equivalent of the Patriots are an offensive juggernaut. And
that is true.
I'm here for it.
We're going to take that. Write it down. Book
But also, I think Jeff Passan said he's making $40 million a year just on Japanese endorsements, American endorsements. So he doesn't need to touch the money.
He's going to get more being in LA. I get it.
And he was going to, whatever team he was going to sign was this contract, was the deferment type contract. So he wanted to win games, but this way he stays a little bit closer to home. The Japan market stays in the TV market for the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if he's worth $700 million. He's not pitching this year. He's clear. If he becomes even a closer, it's like that's not worth that money.
He won't this year. He won't pitch this entire year.
No, yeah, but even after that, if he becomes a closer, is it worth $300 million? But
see, I don't know. I disagree with that. I think that closers get shit on like kickers. Going back to your take a long time ago that you think kickers should be paid more. Closers are so OG. Like, I mean, it's just like it's a big. Closing is a big deal, and if you don't have
$300 million,
okay, but he can do both. And I was talking about this originally when this was my take, to shut him down and bring him back as a closer. You know how fucking electric that would be, that he just comes on and just throws 100-mile heat when he's been just crushing home runs all day, and he could go out there 60 times, 70 times in a season. I mean, that's what you really want to be paying somebody for, to get production. There you go. To answer your original question, is it worth it? If he pitches. If he does not, then that is the worst contract that has ever been given. And I was hoping that would be the case until he freaking deferred. Because now they're going to have 10 years where it won't even matter if he sucks. They can just cut him at that point. They're only paying him $2 million a year. Who cares?
It's guaranteed. He's getting paid $700 million. That's where baseball
That's
wins.
what I'm saying. But it's not impacting
in 10 years.
Them. Not, in 10 years it is. That's going to be done no matter what. But if, say, like this next season, that $2 million is nothing. The Rockies were paying Ian Desmond $8 million a year. All right? I mean, it's just like, you got to be freaking kidding me. So this is just, baseball is, Chris, if you have something to say, go ahead.
This is,
because I'm heated.
This is a foundational shift in in baseball contracts and sports contracts in general, because it seems like anytime something new, something massively shifting like this winds up happening, in some way, shape, or form, it winds up finding itself represented in each of the big three. And so
yeah,
I think it's earth-shattering. And the thing that floored me is Ohtani opted to not have that deferred money impacted by inflation.
Or interest-free too.
God,
It wasn't going to gain interest on the
Why
money.
do this to the Dodgers? Do it to a good organization. Do it to somebody who's up and coming.
So generous to a team that's worth, more money than God.
Dude, the Texas Rangers are loaded. They just won the World Series. You want to win? Go there. I mean, go anywhere besides LA.
It's that Japanese
time. What the hell?
Time zone.
Baseball's broken, Cody. It's broken.
It is. Oh, especially for us, the Rockies and Royals.
You cannot have this. Shohei Ohtani, if before this stupid ass deferment, was going to make more than 8 franchises pay their entire payroll. He was going to make double what the Baltimore Orioles make, and they were a playoff team, right? The Baltimore Orioles payroll is $35 million. The Rockies owner is worth $700 million. What the hell is this?
Oh, my God.
What the hell is this?
Oh, the internet was flying.
God, I'm angry.
All right, boys. We got a quick hit NFL list. Damn, there was a lot going on. The NFL is king at parody right now. They're just... Is that the right word?
This season is wacky.
It's insane.
Wacky, dude.
We got Eagles are now a wild card team. Bills, Broncos, Bengals, Texans are all still alive. Broncos are within 1 game of the division. Top divisional teams are stumbling. Chiefs lost again. Jaguars lost. Miami lost. Ravens almost lost, and they have kind of a tough schedule. Joe Flacco is him. / went back to the practice squad after this. Brandon Staley, Chris still has a job?
Still. Oh, my
Justin
God.
Herbert.
Still.
Oh, my God.
How?
Justin Herbert out for the season now, so that makes, what did we just say, 6 AFC starting quarterbacks are still playing. 10 are out for the year.
10.
Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, not happy. Chris thinks it was a tantrum. I have thoughts on that later on.
It was a tantrum.
So there's a big list. Take one of those, and we'll wrap it up.
God, that's a big list. The first one that I'm going to take here is
first. I said which one are you?
I know. Well, we're going to touch on them. We're going to touch on them, brother. We're going to touch on them.
He's
all
the
right,
talent.
It says Eagles wild card team. Yeah, that was a tough game. They got their asses kicked. All right, but Dallas has got a ridiculously hard schedule still coming up, and the Eagles have a ridiculously easy schedule still coming up. The Eagles get to play the Giants twice.
Oh,
all right, and so I mean, they're still looking good. The Eagles went through
they got
to
face off against Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah.
And his agent.
Oh my God, is that real? Is that real? That dude.
It 100%
is. That is real. I mean, he legitimately looks like that. So, listener.
Yeah, he looks like the sort of dude that would get killed in the intro of a Sopranos episode.
I mean, I think he'd be the Don. I mean, the way that he looks, the way he was commanding everything. Listener, if you did not watch Monday Night Football because it was ridiculous, they had 2 games on the same time on 2 different networks. I was like, what the hell is this? If you did not see Tommy DeVito, the heart of New Jersey, this kid still lives at home, and he lives with his parents. His parents were all at the game, and his agent he was literally wearing a fedora, and it was like
pinstripe suit.
Pinstripe suit. It was the most stereotypical Italian you've ever seen in your life. Check it out. It's absolutely hysterical. So I still think that Philly is gonna pull off the number 1 seed in the NFC. So I'm not really too worried about them. I think Dallas is gonna have faced some tough times. I think that they're hot right now, but whenever they go on the road, they're trash. And so Philly needs to win that. So Dallas goes on the road and they'll lose in the first round of the playoffs, and that'll make me happy.
Chris, how does Brandon Staley still have a job?
Guys, can we talk about the fact that Brandon Staley still has a job?
Please.
Jeez.
Brandon Staley still has a job. Okay.
He's employed.
Dude has managed to lead his Chargers to 13 total points in the last 2 games.
Oh my God, with that offense,
with that offense. Sure, now Justin Herbert is out. Woe is me. Like, honestly, like, genuinely, I like Justin Herbert a lot. I like Mike Williams. I like Austin Eckler. I like a lot of the weapons that they've got there. Brandon Staley is a disaster. He is an embarrassment. How that man still has a job, how that man is showing up to work every day and not just finding himself, you know, with his car booted and towed. I mean, I don't understand it.
The Chargers that level of talent. The Chargers offense is like as bad as watching that Minnesota Raiders
game of the year,
where it was 3-0 indoors. Indoors. I mean, it's just, you have that talent, you know, and I don't want to hear it anymore about quarterbacks. I mean, Easton Stick was phenomenal in college. He played at North Dakota State, and he won several national championships. He was great. So, I mean,
Browning for the Bengals, Joe.
I know this kid. As I was saying, Jake Browning, phenomenal. He's playing his ass off. You can find it. I think Tommy DeVito beat the Packers, dude. I mean, because Brian Dable's actually a pretty good coach. He knows if you can figure this out and you could work around who you have. What is happening in LA is atrocious. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it, dude. I do not get it. He's a defensive coach, and their defense is trash. All right, and their offense, and they stacked, and it's trash. There is not their special teams is trash. There is nothing on their team that is there. There's no redeeming qualities for the Los Angeles Superchargers. Even their stupid ass name.
They went the entire game 0 on third downs. I think they converted 1 of like 4 or 5 fourth downs. The announcers are even sitting there poking fun, like, oh, you know, Staley's gonna go for this. And every time he fails, it just cuts to him. And
did you see the play calls? Did you see the play calls? And they brought in Kellen Moore, who's supposed to be this like whisperer of offenses. Yeah. Like when they're going for it on 4th and 2, you do an outside sweep to Austin Eckler. I mean, it's like you're gonna get fucking crushed. What are you thinking,
guys? Joe Flacco is him. Let's just make it clear.
No, he is not. I hate
Joe Flacco,
Absolutely.
And now he's back on the practice squad. That's what he is.
God, it's just so Browns. That is so Browns.
He could literally sign with a team right now. He said he won't, but he is back on the practice. I don't know why he's back on, but the dude threw for 300 yards.
Who knows? Who can ever put their heads in the minds of the GM for the Cleveland Browns? It does not make sense. And I don't want to hear any more about Joe Flacco. He is I think he's my number 1 most hated player in NFL history.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's either him or Bart Scott, the old Jets linebacker. I've always hated Joe Flacco, and because of that, I always hated the Ravens. But now I'm like, why do I hate the Ravens? I like John Harbaugh. I like Lamar Jackson. I just hated Joe Flacco so much. And then my hatred grew for him so much more when he came to Denver. And, oh, God, I want to see him fail so hard.
Also, we can call it a tantrum for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, but also if your team had the greatest play that anyone's eyes has ever seen, would you not throw a little bit of a tantrum?
No,
it's going to be part of my squeeze.
Play of all time.
Is that not the most insane?
It wasn't the greatest play of all time, but it was incredibly awesome to watch.
Yes, was it not insane?
And it was perfectly executed. God. I mean, you know that
it was not executed. It was not drawn up play. Kelsey just fucking flied over to him.
Wait, that was not a drawn up play?
They didn't who draws
Are you
that up?
shitting me? That was not a play?
No, Andy Reid doesn't like when he does the laterals, but he fucking
that was not a play.
No.
That was not a drawn-up play.
No, not even close.
Okay, because I was about to give Matt Nagy some real cred for that. But
Kelsey just went off on his own.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you guys saw that for your team, how do you not throw maybe a little bit of a tantrum after?
I mean, when I saw it live, I was freaking out. I mean, it was amazing. I thought that was
I made my baby cry. It was that play.
First and foremost, flag is thrown before Patrick Mahomes throws the first of the 2 passes. So nothing after that matters. Second off, like I'm a fan of, you know, part of the game, you jaw at the refs. You try and get any tiny little bit in their head, try and get any tiny little bit of advantage. But to then go up in your press conference and dog and talk shit. And meanwhile, you were the beneficiary of one of those. You could throw it, you could not throw it in the Super Bowl that wound up impacting and leading you to a Super Bowl win.
Oh, the double hold that the guy said he held. Okay.
Just like Kadarius Toney was actually offside.
Hold on. We can wait till my squeeze because I have. Yeah.
Right.
He was definitely offside. I am not saying he was offside.
Okay.
And that's the thing.
Let me say something.
What I'm saying is the refs get to make that call. You know, to say, oh yeah, he definitely held. Yeah, he did. That's a 50-50 call. They've been not calling it all game.
And
that's the time where they decide to throw that flag.
Inconsistency. Yeah.
Same with the offsides. I'm sure we could look through this weekend and find 100 different instances where someone's got a toe on the line.
How many offensive plays are in a game? Like 100, 110, whatever the hell it is.
At least more than like 4 or 5.
You could have called 110 times offsides on Jawan Taylor.
And they have. He leads the league in flags.
He has been offsides every single play that has existed this season for the Chiefs. It makes me angry. And we'll talk.
He also leads the league in flags.
Talk more about that later.
Yeah, let's talk about that here.
Later.
Music break. All right, gents, and we're back. Squeeze of the week, our biggest, most outlandish sports take. Guys, we have a few more listener ones. I'm so proud of this audience of ours. So proud of our audience. We have a third Mike, Big D Mike, introducing to the Mike Army.
Yeah.
We have another Mike from Georgia who had some problems with Chris's CFP take last week. And then Big Daddy Linehan, Big Cat. Sent in his squeeze. But I'm going to take the floor here since we just talked about
doing 4 squeezies.
Yeah,
I love it.
Real pulp heavy episode. If I can find
I'm
my
going to
notes.
sift it. I'm going to sift that pulp.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Tear Cody's apart.
No.
You can tell immediately.
No, because I'm
Before he
trying
even
to be
starts.
logical, because it was a flag. It was 1,000%. Like, Kadarius Toney is 100% to blame. All right, was he offsides? 100%. Do you throw the flag? That's going to be a forever debate. He did, whatever. Okay, all teams need to check themselves 100%, because this is going to happen to them at some point, because the reffing is very inconsistent right now. All fans want is consistency. The Chiefs had a pass interference. Obviously, the whole world thought was a pass interference, and also a roughing the passer that shouldn't have been on Pat Mahomes. And then that's just Myles Garrett was bitching about the refs this week too. So it's going to happen to your team next. Broncos got fucked by the Commanders on like week 2 or 3 on a 2-point conversion that wasn't called. So also, if your team had the greatest play like that, you would be upset too. So I don't like how everyone's just jumping on the Chiefs fans. Like, if that was anyone else,
saying greatest play, that wasn't a play.
it was insane. Whatever it was, it was insane.
I can't believe he just did that. Anyway, keep going.
But to give more of a backstory, Carl Sheffers is the ref of this game. The Chiefs have a history with Carl Sheffers, and that's why the Chiefs fans are more upset and more toxic than ever before. To give a little backstory on Carl Sheffers, 2016 divisional round Steelers-Chiefs, he calls a holding on Eric Fisher when James Harrison literally just fell down. It was on a 2-point conversion that they scored on. It would have tied the game. Chiefs might have gone to the AFC Championship game. But Carl Sheffers' crew
I remember that. I do.
called bullshit holding. That was obvious. He slipped and fell. They called him Eric Fisher.
Because I hate the Steelers. I remember that.
Yes. After this game, a young Travis Kelce said it's ignorance. The ref, number 51, Carl Sheffers, should never be allowed to wear a zebra jersey again. He shouldn't even be able to work at fucking Foot Locker. That's what Travis Kelce said. So Carl Sheffers and the Chiefs are not off to a good start. Okay? Sheffers does this. Yeah, he does the Super Bowl game of the Tampa Bay Bucks versus Kansas City Chiefs. That game is 11-4 penalties against the Chiefs.
Dude, they got their asses kicked.
No, they did. No, 1,000%. But 11-4, I mean, make it a little less obvious. Carl Sheffers' crew was all-time record for first-half flags was Carl Sheffers' crew in the Super Bowl. A game that usually you let play out a little bit more than throwing the flags. So there's number 2. Also, do you remember Chris Jones had a strip sack against the Raiders on primetime where he stripped it, sacked it, and took the ball from the quarterback?
I remember that. Oh, wait, this is all Carl Sheffers?
Yes. Yes. What? That game, Carl Sheffers threw a roughing the passer. This caused a whole big debate on we need to make roughing the passer a giant thing. The Arrowhead booed Carl Sheffers so bad for so long. It was a 10-minute booing.
I remember this.
That Carl Sheffers threw a flag on whatever next play. His voice was crackling close to tears because the booing was so loud for so long. So us and Carl Sheffers do not get along. To Carl's piece, he did do the Super Bowl against the Eagles last year. So I think he was flying a little too close to the sun, had to back off his hatred. He gave us one. but there's a long history there.
Call at the end, so he give it back to you.
It also,
He redeemed you.
Yes, so I forgave Carl. I moved on in my life. Fucking Carl Sheffers, this is his crew the other week. Andy Reid said, this is long-winded. Andy Reid said the process is refs are supposed to communicate with the head coach to warn players about being offsides. Andy Reid, all he said, he confirmed he was never talked to the entire game about his players being offsides. You want to know why I believe Andy Reid? Because in 25 years of coaching, this is the first offensive offside Andy Reid has ever had in his fucking career. 25,000 snaps. He has never had an offensive. So you know what that tells me? That the refs communicate with Coach Reid. He gets his fucking players in line and they fix it immediately. So the fact that Sheffers' crew never warned Andy Reid. Also, Tony was offside 4 to 5 times the entire game, and it was not called. So why are these sideline judges not calling it? It just goes back to inconsistency. Why not call it for 4 plays, call it on the big play? More power to you for throwing the flag. It was right, but end of rant is it's only become a bigger part of the game. Deeper, as you get deeper into everything with sportsbook, the worse these problems are going to get until you make NFL NFL refs full-time employees, where they are training, 100%. They're looking at film. And Pat was kind of right. Another game we are talking about the refs, no matter what it is. It feels like the refs are much more talking point at the end of games.
They need to merge with the XFL, make a legitimate minor league like development program, and have the referees do both. So they're working year-round.
Watch film, training, get old guys out of retirement to lecture. Just do something, because there's just too many inconsistencies. Literally, people posting Jalen Waddle was a foot offsides yesterday, and no one. It's just, I think it just hurts everyone's head. It's going to happen to everyone's team. It happened to the Chiefs. They deserved it. But I think if you're not a Chiefs fan, you don't know the history between Carl Sheffers and the Chiefs. So there it is for you.
No, bullshit call, but it was real. But I disagree with calling that in that time. I think it's bullshit.
I wish he just would have blown it dead.
Peyton Manning said that on PTI today. He said that he's tired of these of letting it play out. He said when you're offsides, blow it dead, because think about what that would have done to even the Chiefs back in the day. If D Ford, him being that far offside, so they would have blown it dead.
There's no pickoff. There's no
because he says that anything after the fact doesn't matter anyway. So you're just getting up the hopes of everybody who's watching.
I thought there were certain false starts that played. I thought offside was one of those. It was offensive offside.
Now it's becoming like a judgment call.
Quarterback, right?
Yeah. If they're unabridged?
Unimpeded to the quarterback.
Unabridged is like a book term. Yeah. But it's
we don't talk about
books learned here.
Yeah. So that's my rant. 100% offsides. He's a dumbass for doing it. Fix it, but damn, I just wanted that play to count, because
that was awesome.
It was insane.
Yeah. First and foremost, I appreciate that you're able to recognize when a man is holding back tears talking into a microphone. I'm surprised you couldn't notice that with Patrick Mahomes in his presser, but we'll talk privately about that.
Burn.
But on top of that, I like how each iteration, Carl, right?
Mr. Carl, yeah.
Mr. Carl deserves a full explanation of what happened and why it's wrong. And then he kicked us a freebie, happened to win us a Super Bowl, happened to be a call that wasn't being called the entire rest of the game, because
it wasn't him that threw that flag.
You let it play. But then to also say you throw that flag on the big play, that flag was thrown at the snap.
Yep.
It wasn't it's a big play, but hey, let's bring that back. If it was, then I would actually, as much as I want to talk shit about the Chiefs, if it was an after the fact, hey, yeah, we gotta throw that, that's bullshit. But it's not, hey, we're throwing this to prevent a big play, anything like that. It's, hey, we noticed that he is so far across the ball that we can't see the football being snapped. I think that's the discernment that I've heard coming back from the officiating crew is we let it play, because if it's close, it's whatever. But if it's so egregious that he is in front of the football being snapped, then now all of a sudden we feel like we've crossed the threshold, our hands are tied, the flag has to be thrown. And I think that's a judgment call. It's a bummer that it wound up happening at such a critical time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bummer that it did wind up impacting the game. But all of this, wanting to break it down to they just had it in for us, they're looking to screw us over, all of this ignores the facts of the matter that are at play in that actual instance.
Also, Kadarius Toney did point to the ref, but you can't say the ref acknowledged it, so I'm not going to defend that. But who the hell who are these sideline refs? No one is catching him off sides, and no one acknowledged. So I'm more confused on are they clocked in? They clocked in at the last second when it mattered most. It's frustrating, but the Chiefs have only themselves to blame. And Andy Reid never talks about the refs ever, so when he does say something, I do believe it. That it's like,
and it just sucks so bad. It's Kadarius Toney.
You feel you're like, damn, dude,
that's ringer this year, man.
That's two L's associated with his name. So that's enough for me. Chris, we have a Big D squeeze. What do you got?
Why is he called Big D?
He's in Dallas. We already went.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
he's the Big D.
Oh, is that what it is?
Amongst other reasons.
Oh.
Here's a squeeze because Jaden Daniels is going to win the Heisman tonight. So this was obviously right before. And I wouldn't have an issue if Denver drafted him. When he matched up against FSU, his passer rating was 76. He threw a 75-yard garbage TD pass at the end of the game against a true freshman who missed a tackle. You take that one pass away, and here are his stats versus the Noles. 21 of 36 for 275 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. 64 yards on the ground and no touchdowns. He threw for 219 and 2 scores versus Bama and added 163 rushing yards and another score. He threw for 372 and ran for 234.
Whoa.
And had 5 touchdowns versus the Gators. So his take is, So his take is
he ran for 234?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Against Florida. Yeah. And so his take is A, that Jaden Daniels is deserving of the Heisman, and B, that he is being completely slept on by the NFL draft gurus. And he did say, and at the end, stick it to the committee again. And by the way, not only is he awesome, he was essentially shut out by the team the committee felt wasn't a top 4 team, not Alabama.
Jeez.
I like that. Way to end, Big D. I like that.
Sift away, boys. I loved this day. I loved every bit of this.
I think his draft stock just had to have jumped up at least a little bit.
A little bit. He looks skinny. Is he tiny? I don't. That's that problem. That's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about this kid. Okay, I don't know anything about him. I know that he was at Arizona State for 3 years, and then he transferred.
6'4". 210.
That's tall. Oh, he's skinny. I'm 6 foot and way more than 210. So he is.
And we've established you're not the world's best quarterback.
No, I'm not. I am not. But if you give me 7 seconds to set my feet in Alabama wide receivers,
you give Joey 7 seconds, he can accomplish a lot. Yes. All right. So his main squeeze though was that he's being slept on for the NFL draft. He thinks that he's going to be a higher caliber pro draftee than he's getting credit for at the moment.
All right. Well, I hope so. I've been seeing Jaden Daniels' name around the Broncos a lot because he's probably going to fall to mid-round picks, and I don't think he was even projected to be a first-round pick before obviously him winning the Heisman. But it's just crazy how everybody right now is looking for that dual threat, and so he's
changed,
and he is that. But I'd rather have somebody who can scramble and throw than somebody who's just known as a dual threat.
And I think he's gonna fall in the mid to, early 20s picks there. So, and with a lot of hurt quarterbacks, I think a lot of teams are just evaluating their situation, especially at backup. Do we have a legit backup? Can we afford a few years to a Jordan Love situation? Yeah. But you win the Heisman, good things usually happen. So I think he played himself into
Baker, Kyler.
Yep, a teens. Yeah, he's gonna find himself on a decent situation. He's not going to the Cardinals where you got to pick up a whole city and organization. But he'll be into a decent franchise that has some momentum, some players, some money. So
I agreed with him on the Broncos would be a good fit. Go and spend a year playing behind Russ.
Maybe 2.
Do the same that he did. Tack on some weight. Still keep that quickness, but tack on some size. I'd love to see it. I like his decision making. He looks real clean and calm in the pocket. Can get creative with his feet. I would love to see Jaden Daniels become a Bronco.
I guess I gotta watch more of him, man, because he won the Heisman. I didn't see him.
Thanks for saying that in, Big D, Mike.
Big
Love
D.
that. Moving on to another squeeze from another Mike from Georgia, who sent a few things in. He did not like, so I will read this and let Chris respond. This is directly for Chris regarding the CFP playoffs. They got it right. The best 4 are in. You argued that Ohio State had a QB get injured and won it all. Yes, that happened. They also had Cardale finish the game against Michigan, then go out and beat Wisconsin in the Big Ten ship 59-0, while FSU beat Louisville with 55 passing yards. Ooh, I didn't know that.
Nice.
Sure, they're deserving, but not a top 4 best. They're a 14-point underdog when lines open against 6th-ranked Georgia, as we've talked about. I would take every current top 15 team money line over FSU if they played tomorrow. FSU isn't what they once were. Get me on the pod. I could keep going.
Mike at Georgia has become a frequent listener and submitter.
With some good takes.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, hang on. Give me 1 second to look up who are the top 15 teams. Well, one of them is LSU. Already fell to FSU. One of them is Notre Dame. Also lost to FSU. Mike, I'll take that bet. Go fuck yourself.
So what you're saying is he should have said top 13 teams?
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness.
Damn it, Mike. Mike didn't do his...
To say that they went up against against Louisville and only put up 55 yards, from my perspective, that furthers their pedigree. That's an LSU team that's a legit team. That's an LSU that... God dang, I keep saying LSU. That's a Louisville team that utterly throttled Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And had one of the top offenses in college football, and they were completely on their heels for the entire team going against that FSU defense. The FSU offense did enough to get that job done with their 3rd string quarterback. Their 2nd string was due to be back in time for the CFP. That 2nd string quarterback who went into Gainesville and beat the Gators. Now, that's not an easy thing to do for any team, but for any other team in Florida, that the Gators are giving you their 10 out of 10 best shot. That is their Super Bowl. And to have an opportunity in rivalry week to end FSU's undefeated reign, that Florida team was giving every last bit that they had. And to say that FSU is undeserving after those being their final 2 wins because they didn't have Jordan Travis at the helm is absolute and total bullshit. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to rant on this some more. You're wrong. You win nothing. Good day, sir.
I'm with Mike in that it's a TV ratings game, and FSU would have been 2 touchdown underdogs to anyone in
I
top 3.
don't care.
So
It's a rating against anybody, and they'll cover those 2 touchdowns. I don't know that they'll win, but they're not going to. Right. They're not getting blown out by anybody.
Mike in Georgia beat defending Georgia.
He's an Ohio State fan. Didn't he mention that?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, and all right.
Oh, we railed him before, man. Let's keep it moving, boys. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, double Mike. It was a good Mike show.
Back-to-back Mike squeezers.
Yeah, right. Wrapping up with Papa Linehan, Grandpa Linehan.
Big cat.
This is in reference to guys. What is a European squeeze? We need to name that from a few weeks ago. How do you say that in British?
How do you say that in British? You mean English?
No, it's British.
You mean just say it in English, but differently?
A little classier. We had a squeeze.
Joey's got it.
We had our first London squeeze versus UK squeeze about how terrible NCAA is to student athletes. Papa Linehan had a thought on it. Great take on the NCAA. Shamefully, the term student athlete is an oxymoron. It's all about money and TV contracts, and the vast majority of student athletes who will not play at the next level sadly find themselves graduating with some useless degree like basket weaving, and subsequently transcend in their new career wearing a name tag at Lowe's. Oh, just throwing shots at the kids.
Is basket weaving ever been an actual major? Because it's always been a joke. I mean, was that ever a thing that you could actually major in?
We could look. The day that they were brought in on scholarship, it was football 24/7 with literally no priority on education. They are literally cast-offs in favor of greater cause, money and greed. There are countless examples of SEC athletes completing their 4-year college commitment, not being able to read or write. This is a level of disgust and moral bankruptcy rivaled only by everyone's favorite and the all-time leader in false promises and corruption. Wait for it. The Catholic Church.
Oh, wow.
Big cat going there.
Hard turn.
Keep up the good work, boys. Love the show.
Holy cow.
James put his squeeze in that the NCAA is rigged. Student athletes are treated poorly. They don't care about education. I don't know if we disagree with that.
I can't argue. I can't argue, Big Cat. I completely agree. Completely agree. And for the record, I was an altar boy for like 6 years. So Big Cat can be dogging the Catholic Church, but we were raised.
Would you like to talk more about that, Joey?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
We talked about NCAA. Yeah, just it's a sham. No matter what way you look at it.
You know,
I thought you meant me talking about being a Catholic. I was like, no, I don't want to talk about that anymore. No, I will definitely talk more about college football.
You got it right. I was curious if we had anything that we needed to unpack within your time spent as an altar boy.
No. Moving on. No, I was Father Ernie was awesome. Go on.
Shout out to Father Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I like this take. I mean, you know, how much do we allow the student to just dissipate in lieu of the athlete? You know, I think that there's a responsibility that if you're going to bring these kids in, that they actually get more out of their time at your university than they wind up delivering out on the field. And I think there's a lot of schools that just don't prioritize that. And I would love to see a higher focus on that.
So Chris, to add to that, what Big Cat said, what he's referencing was Malcolm Mitchell was a Patriots wide receiver. Okay, Malcolm Mitchell joined the Patriots, and when he went to Georgia, he could not read. I'm not joking. He could not read. And so when he was on the Patriots, he wrote a children's book because he finally got to learn how to read. And it won like this award. He made it through all of high school, all of college, got drafted to the NFL, could not read. It's just, it's asinine. That's a real story. Look it up. Malcolm Mitchell. Crazy.
What a low note to.
Yeah.
Thanks, Papa Linehan, for Joey, for people who want to submit their own squeezes of the week, the most outlandish take, quickly becoming our favorite segment with all the listener submitted squeezes. How can they do so?
Listener, please keep it coming by submitting your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com. That is juiceboyshow@gmail.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram. Cody, I won't ask you anymore because we keep getting a lot of DMs. It's fantastic.
Yeah, apparently. That's great.
So, yeah, DM us on Instagram at juiceboyshow. And we've gotten a little better. We're updating every day, so follow us. Follow us at juiceboyshow. And if it has the pulp, I'll sift it. We'll listen, and we'll read it on the show. Chris!
Hey, buddy.
Sponsoring today's show.
Yeah. Sorry, McCoy. Today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by the upcoming Kadarius Toney wide receiver camp.
How about the whole Chiefs camp? Chiefs wide receiver camp.
Yes, folks, it's that time of year again as Friday night lights across America get turned off for the last time till next fall to start looking ahead to spring football camps for your children.
That's right.
and the good folks who previously created so many classic camps, like the Peyton Manning School for Kids Who Want to Run Good. And the Vontae's Burfict's Tackling and Ethics Conference.
Oh, jeez.
Have a brand new offering for young football lovers hoping to be the NFL's next big superstar. The Kadarius Toney Wide Receiver Camp, which promises to be unlike any other camp ever offered. You see, traditionally, camps are an opportunity for your youngsters to learn football skills from the NFL's best and brightest. But we here at the Kadarius Toney Wide Receiver Camp would like to offer your children the opportunity to come teach Kadarius himself basic football rules and skills. Your children will have an opportunity to teach him fun things, like how to stand behind the ball, how to catch a pass, and how to blame his mistakes on the referees and his post-game press conference. And as thanks, Kadarius has promised to teach your children how to fleece millions of dollars from desperate offensive coordinators who think they can fix him, even though they're really just rebounding from missing Tyreek Hill. So come one, come all, let's get together and teach Kadarius Toney how to play football this spring at the Kadarius Toney Wide Receiver Camp, the only camp offering you the opportunity to dress up as Andy Reid and yell at an actual football player.
I don't know. He had the longest punt return Super Bowl history, so I'm going to always like him. I hope he can fucking figure it out. But
Oh,
That's different
listener,
than
I
catching
took
a
a
pass,
picture.
though.
he had to catch a punt. Isn't that weird? He had to catch the punt, but he can't.
I took a picture of Cody's face during that rant, and I'm going to upload it. It was excellent.
I forgot to mention this in my 47 things about the Chiefs, but also, you don't think Patrick Mahomes finally just lost his shit after having his team drop 40 balls and then he's blaming it on the refs?
I get
Like,
that.
he just finally busted, which I don't blame him
For
for.
like
Don't lay
the
into your team,
sixth
then.
time, I give
lay into
him
your team.
grace. All right, I give him grace.
No, yeah, but that's, I think everyone's like, it's him against the refs. It's like, I think part that, but like, he had so many balls in people's just hands that shit.
Yeah.
Like, catch the ball, guys. All right.
Suck my balls.
Boys, you guys like potatoes? We like potatoes.
I like
Love
potatoes.
Like a
Yeah.
hot potato.
This is the
Like a
big
hot
topic.
potato?
This is the big topic of the day, which we deem the big potato, and I don't remember why. But it's grown. It's grown on me. Today's is Heisman related since it was just chosen. Best players to not win the Heisman.
I dig this.
Who wants to kick it off?
So can I start?
Please do it.
Okay. Now, I want to start with a player that I absolutely despise as a pro because he was so damn good. He destroyed the Broncos. He was always tough against the Patriots.
Joe Flacco.
Oh,
Is him.
oh God, I hate that man so much. But he played for Delaware.
He did
played for Delaware.
destroy the Broncos just from
And he
inside.
beat the Patriots. So
Yeah.
that is true. And that did happen. But no, I'm going to go with the year 2000. The year 2000.
Is that a late night with Conan O'Brien?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is. LaDainian Tomlinson killed the Broncos and the Patriots every single time he played them. And his college statistics are asinine. And I want to just throw this out here for you guys to understand. Today we're talking about who should win the Heisman, the impact on the team and statistics, right? TCU, he led TCU to 10-2. That's pretty damn good. That season, he in 12 games had 369 carries. 369 carries
Oh my God.
in 12
Jeez.
games. Now, guess how many passes the team had that season?
80.
183.
Oh my
All
God.
right. For the entire season, they had 183 passes. Okay. That season, LaDainian Tomlinson had 2,198 yards and 22 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? In one game, he had 49 carries, 294 yards, and 4 touchdowns. I mean, like that is just these are numbers that people it doesn't make sense. He had 66% of the team's offense as a running back.
Jeez.
on a
Elton?
10-2 team,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And he
insane.
got 4th place in the voting that season.
Oh,
That's bad. LaDainian Tomlinson, I mean, just that those numbers just are ridiculous. So that's my first pick.
I'm putting on some Homer goggles, boys.
I thought you would.
yeah, you would.
Yeah. I imagine this is expected, but Tommy Frazier.
Yeah.
You know.
Me and Cody were at a bet which one you would take. So there we go.
Absolutely. Got to go Tommy Frazier. Led the Huskers to back-to-back undefeated national championship seasons.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude won MVP. Only player to ever do this. Dude won MVP in 3 consecutive national championship games.
Oh my
They
God.
lost in 1993 on a last-second field goal that sailed wide right, and he still got the MVP
What?
on the losing team.
I didn't know this.
That's how big of a contributor he
What?
was. Yeah, so in 1995, he contributed 31 touchdowns on the way to those back-to-back natties. And in 1995, he had a 75-yard touchdown run within which he broke 7 tackles. Still to this day, if you look up all-time great Nebraska Cornhusker plays, you will see that probably at like either number 1 or number 2, depending on the how you're
So
picking.
that was his Heisman moment.
That was his Heisman
And
moment.
he didn't, yeah. That's
He
what they
was
always said. LaDainian Tomlinson, he never had a Heisman moment. And
Yeah.
so 75 yards and 7 broken tackles. That sounds like a Heisman moment.
That feels,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, insane. And he lost to some guy named Eddie George. Like, who the hell even is that?
What did he ever do for anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty freaking good, dude. He was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bummer.
There's no
like,
Chris Weinke.
you
But he was
know,
pretty good.
He lacks in Winky, but he more than makes up for it.
He lacks
Heisman moment.
What he lacks in Winky, he makes up for. All right, guys, I'm taking Randall Moss. Marshall.
Is his name
University.
actual Randall?
Well, it has to be, right? I mean,
Oh, I think it might just be.
Did you
Randall.
not even look this up? My God, are you?
oh, my
phoning
dad's
this
name
in
is
right
Randy.
now?
It's Randall. Is
I hope I wonder if his name is
Oh my
just
God!
Randy
Do
or
I
is
need
it
to look
Randall?
this up?
Chris, you look this up while I rant. Freshman year in college at Marshall, 29 tutties, 1,700 receiving yards as a freshman, which is a 18, 19-year-old kid playing against 22-year-olds. He was a Heisman for the final. He was a Heisman finalist his freshman year. He finished 4th. Sophomore year was even more impressive. 26 tutties, 1,800 yards. Just, I mean, I don't know. He was
Brother.
insane.
His name is Randy Gene Moss. His name is Randy. His name is Randy.
God, you
Randy
suck.
Gene Moss.
Sorry, Randy. Come on the show.
Sorry.
Mr. Moss, I
Anyway.
apologize. But hell, how do you not give it to that? I mean, he got yards, he got tutties. He was the
Where
best.
did
He was
he
the
go to
best
play?
player. Yeah, he was
Where was he at school?
Marshall.
Marshall. And he's
Marshall.
putting up these numbers.
Joey, number 2.
All right, for my next pick was the main participant, the main contributor to what I think was the greatest college football game ever played,
Mhm.
and that was the 2005 national championship between Texas and USC. And I can't take Reggie Bush because he won it, but then it got taken away, and so I'm going to take Vince Young. Vince Young that season should have beat Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush was a regular everyday name by that point because he was so flashy. He returned kicks. He was doing everything, and he was on USC, who was just the absolute powerhouse with Pete Carroll. But Vince Young brought Texas to the national championship, won the national championship in like the greatest game that I've ever seen, and one of the greatest performances I've ever seen by a college athlete. But in the regular season, he was the first player in college football history to have 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards in the same season.
Jeez.
Like, he created the idea of the dual threat quarterback. I know that Eric Crouch won the Heisman as a dual threat quarterback.
Yep.
But was he actually a quarterback? You look at him, he had more interceptions than he had touchdowns. He was not even close to throwing for 3,000
So he's a
yards.
triple threat. That's one better.
So he was not like an actual, like Vince Young threw for 3,000 yards in 12 games and then ran for 1,000 yards in 12 games. And on top of that, he had 26 passing touchdowns 12 rushing touchdowns, and he averaged 6.8 yards a carry whenever he ran the ball. I mean, it was just that was absolutely incredible. Texas has not won a championship since then, and yes, he has that on his record, but that season should have been noted.
I appreciate you bringing up
I love
that
Vince Young.
2005 national title game. You know, because you fellas know that I always try and take these taters in creative interpretations.
We do know that.
And for option number 2, I decided to go with the most deserving person to not have a Heisman, and that's Reggie Bush.
I was gonna say. As soon as Joey said that, I'm like, wait a second, could that be an option?
Going Reggie Bush, because if you check the official list on the Heisman website, there was no winner in 2005. So I'm using this as an opportunity to give myself a little mini squeeze for the fact that Reggie Bush has not had his Heisman reinstated, and I think that is bullshit. So I wanted to talk about it.
I do
So
too.
in 2005, he rushed 200 times for 1,700 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns, helping USC to an undefeated regular season and a Pac-12 title win, leading them into the national championship. They did lose to Texas, as Joey talked about. But then Reggie was placed under investigation not long after that season, like right after he got drafted, if I remember correctly, for having received gifts through his now agent, something that obviously was a big no-no for the NCAA at the time. But now we are graced with the NIL era where those things are allowed.
That's fine.
And so,
of course you can do that.
And so I get the whole, hey, that wasn't allowed at the time, therefore he's still on the wrong side of where he should have been when he was in college. But then Johnny Football, being the dipshit that he always has to be, releases a documentary earlier this year where he goes on and brags about how he was doing exactly the same thing, cashing in on his name, image, and likeness. And I think puts the NCAA in a position to where you either have to go the party pooper route of go and take Manziel's Heisman away because he was also on the wrong side of the rules at the time. It just took you longer to find that out, or reinstate Reggie Bush's Heisman because now we're washing our hands of folks who skirted the rules in ways that were against the rules but didn't actually impact your performance on the field. End rant.
Yes, but Vince Young should have won that year.
Okay. He did.
Vince Young had 4,086 all-purpose yards that year. Reggie Bush had 2,200. So more than double. More than double.
So here's something that I did see in researching this is Vince Young was offered Reggie Bush's Heisman that was given up, and he turned it down in solidarity.
Wow.
Oh.
So even Vince Young disagrees with you, you son of a bitch.
I'll wrap us up. Adrian Peterson, guys, his freshman year.
Great pick. Excellent pick.
Almost ran for 2,000 yards. 18-year-old running for 1,925 yards. He led the entire nation in carries, 339, so they just ran him to death.
Oh, Jesus.
Ran over 100 yards 8 different times. Against Baylor, he ran for 240 yards and scored 3 tutties in the second half. He finished second that year in 2004. But freshman year, just almost 2,000 yards as an 18-year-old coming out of high school.
Incredible.
It's beyond
That was amazing.
mind-blowing to me. Dang, that was a starchy potato.
Starch.
Nicely timed.
How
Joe.
did nobody take Peyton Manning?
Because he lost
giving that to you
Nebraska in
guys.
1997 in the national championship, which is why Nebraska is the only national champion of 1997.
Oh.
Yep.
Quite the stat you just fired.
That's incredible. Is that for real?
Not if you talk to any Michigan fans, but I don't think those people actually exist. Joey reading shit.
Juice junkies.
Ooh, love that.
Remember, you can continue and now listen to the show on all major podcast networks, including Google, Spotify, Apple, now YouTube. If you're enjoying the show, please consider following and rating the show and leaving us a review, even if you listen to us on leave us a review. If you listen, oh, fuck me.
Keep all of this, McCoy. Keep all of it.
Leave us a review. Leave us a review. If you listen through Apple, we encourage you to follow our YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. Do not click subscribe. Should we click subscribe? Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. You can follow us. Please follow us on Instagram at Juice Boy Show. Juice Boy Show.
Got a nice cult following going on, so.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go.
Join the
Hell yeah.
madness.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome
Juice
if we could start a
junkies.
cult.
I love our
be so
Juice
happy.
junkies.
I've always wanted to start a cult.
That'd be awesome. Cody!
Yeah.
Back to you.
All right, that almost
That was
does
a
it.
shit show. Yeah.
That was a mess.
That was a
Not
shit
strong
show.
readers on this show.
Oh,
No.
Surprisingly.
you don't like geography or
I
spelling?
love geography,
Or-
but I can't. I'm dyslexic, bruh. I'm bad.
That just about does it. Chris, bring us home. How do we do last week? How did the Wheel of Degeneracy do? How's the season wrapping up for us? No,
God,
who is
McCoy.
sponsoring? Oh, shit.
Oh my God, this is 2 weeks in a
Oh,
row.
no.
It's just
Who is
bullshit.
sponsoring? Gosh damn it.
Go.
They paid money. Who is sponsoring today's picks? I apologize.
Apologize to this sponsor. Okay, we usually run a very tight ship here. McCoy is, we think, on drugs.
Loose.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get a handle. Damn it.
Today's picks are brought to you by cold pizza for breakfast during a hangover.
Quite the business.
College?
venture. Yeah.
Yeah,
College?
fellas, juice junkies, Kevin and Topeka. It's that time of year again. When the sun sets at 4 p.m. and there's some sort of holiday celebration every 4 days. So there are a lot of opportunities to lose track of time and wind up overserving yourself. And sure, I know last time you did so, you couldn't get out of bed until afternoon and swore you'd never make that mistake again. But your silly little ape brain forgot all about that as the first shot of peppermint schnapps touched your lips.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So here you are again, hungover, dried out like a raisin come to life, regretting every choice you've ever made. But luckily, cold pizza for breakfast during a hangover has your back. Cold pizza for breakfast during a hangover has helped stitch you back together time and time again since you were 16. And it's here for you again in your time of need. And sure, that cold pizza has been in the back of the fridge since your last hangover 2 weeks ago, and now has all the texture and flavor of the box it originally came in.
Ooh.
But hey, you're a grown adult who tried to party like they're still in college, so who the hell are you to judge?
That's a big mistake.
Yep. So here we are, 2 disappointments together again, keeping you alive until the next time you inevitably wind up being a moron once more.
It's true.
Cold pizza for breakfast during a hangover. Because people who make the good choices get to eat the good food.
What a tagline.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
Dang. Now that just
Cheese.
about
I ate a lot
does
of
it.
cheese whiz.
Leaning Tower of Cheesa?
I had a
Yeah, the cheese. It's
I had a
gross.
former teammate who brushed his teeth with cheese whiz on a trip once, and it
That
was
sounds real
disgusting.
gross.
it was one of the grossest things I've ever.
You're gonna lose those teeth.
That sounds very gross.
Chris, take us home now. How did we do last week? Overall records, Wheel of Degeneracy, the whole shebang.
Let's talk about last week.
Oh no.
Wheel of Degeneracy had a tough week.
Oh no.
0-2
yeah,
and
I
1.
know they did. I know they did.
Yeah.
Because I lost money. Because I bet on the Wheel of Degeneracy. Thank you,
Yeah. So Wheel of Degeneracy is at 15, 21, and 2. I had a very respectable 1-1-1.
Hey, that's better, brother.
Bringing me to
better.
12, 25, and 2.
What was your
Juice
push?
boy. Oh, the Vikings -3 at
Oh,
Raiders.
jeez.
I bet on Josh Dobbs. I bet
Wow.
on Josh Dobbs, and they put
Wow.
up 3 total points to cover said -3 as
What
a
a
push
my
push.
God.
That's a
what
hell of a
push.
tie, though.
That's a beautiful tie. It's the most chaotic thing I've ever had. Juice Boy McCoy not doing so great
Shit.
with 1 and 2, bringing you to 22, 16, and 1. And Juice Boy Joe, 2 and 1.
Let's go, baby.
To bring you tied with Juice Boy McCoy.
I got
22, 16, and 1.
I've been 2-1 for like 6 weeks in a row. Let's go.
I blinked
Yeah, you
first.
But I don't have Iowa as my back.
That's for as your pillar. As your,
Oh God. All
as your
right.
pillar pick.
We'll go Joey, then me, then McCoy.
Denver +5 against Detroit. All right. I think if this, they need it. They need this game. Detroit needs this game too. If this is going to be one, it's going to be within a field goal. This game is going to be gnarly. I'm not taking the easy pick. I'm taking a pick to challenge you, McCoy. You need to reach down in your haunches, all right, and really trust and be like, what is my gut telling me? My gut's telling me the Broncos are going to beat the Lions this weekend. I would take money line, but I'm not that confident, so I'm taking +5.
And who knows how the Lions are anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
They're just
man.
a
They're all
funky
over the
situation.
place. Yeah.
After we got a half-hour rant.
Yeah. Ever since listener Kendall came in and said that they were going to wind up with 2 total losses on the season, they seem to have lost that thread. I'm going to go ahead and go with Chargers at Raiders under 34.
Oh, I had that on mine, damn it!
Oh man, these are 2 offenses that just can't even find their own pulse, let alone score. What is that? 17 points each.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll. Yeah, I think both offenses will give one another their best shot, and so I think it'll be closer than it has been of recent. But these 2 teams are just a joke.
I'm taking the Bengals -3.5 on the Vikings.
Oh, I had that on my team.
Vikings are struggling, as we know, with Josh Dobbs. Really can't score points. Bengals are, I hate to say it, is Joe Burrow a system
rolling
quarterback?
right
Question
now.
mark.
Oh.
Browning playing well. The defense, Mixon's running the ball. I hate it, but
You can say that, but as I told you, Jake Browning was a baller in college. So I mean, this dude can throw.
and they still got those weapons, so that's good for any backup quarterback. They're
Exactly.
carrying on. Take 3.5. I think Bengals will be okay.
Exactly. I need to take
JoJo.
an over/under in a college game. Damn it! So my under is going to be Houston, Tennessee under 38. All right, no CJ Stroud. So we'll see what Houston can produce. But Tennessee, that game Monday night was outstanding, and just putting Miami in their place was phenomenal. But I don't know. Houston's got a good defense. I'm going to take that game under 38 because there's no CJ Stroud.
Tommy Cutlets +6 at the Saints.
Tommy Cutlets.
Ryan the DeVito
Tommy.
train. The Italian sausage.
Tommy
man.
DeVito.
Oh man, the Josh Dobbs hype train walked so the Tommy DeVito hype train could fly, boys.
That is
and I am
true.
strapped in.
Oh,
is true.
The Italian sausage mobile.
So what is your actual pick? Giants what?
Giants +6.
I'm taking Rams Commanders under 49.5. Rams are playing well. I don't think they'll need to score a lot to beat the Commanders, so
That's probably fair.
it's it feels like a lot of points. Rams defense is playing. They played really well against the Ravens, so Aaron Donald's back.
All right, my last pick. I got to go to college now. Well, a bunch of trash bowl games, but I'm going to take
You're
a team
trash.
that beat Auburn.
Ooh.
A team that beat Auburn and
Alabama?
Auburn. Yeah, that's true. Wait, no, it's not. They beat up. Damn it, Chris! All right, a team that
I didn't know they were playing this weekend.
A team that beat Auburn is playing Fresno State. I'm going to take New Mexico State minus 4.5. Or Fresno State. All right, they beat Auburn, so let's go.
Yeah, I saw that pick as well. I was considering that. Man, I'm going Boise State at UCLA. UCLA minus 4. I think UCLA kind of got their poop in a group at the end of the season. They put the hammer to USC. Chip Kelly is a legit coach still. They haven't been anything too spectacular, but if you give him enough time to where he has his eyes set on one single target, I think he's going to get it figured out.
Guys, no one's going to pick this game. Are you serious?
Which one?
No one's going to pick the Monday afternoon Who Gives a Fuck Bowl between Western Kentucky and Old Dominion? No one's taking? I'm taking that. Old Dominion minus 2.5 all day. Monday afternoon at 1:30 Central
one's
Time.
taking it?
No one's
Wow,
taking
what a
it.
shocker.
Monday?
The Who Gives a Fuck Bowl.
Oh my God.
1:30.
That's so sad for those kids.
Oh, that's going to be a blast.
Minus 2.5, Christoph. Put it on there.
Wow.
Wheel of Degeneracy. What do you got today?
All right, so yeah, we've already pre-spun to select the games on the wheel this week. We've got Jacksonville State at Louisiana,
Yeah.
Chiefs at Patriots, and Falcons at Panthers. And so right now we're spinning between home spread, away spread, over, under, and Chris takes a shot.
Hey.
Let's go, Chris. Take a shot.
Let's see what we got. I had my wife bring in. Oh my God! Right off the bat. Oh my God! Yeah, I had my wife bring in a bottle, specifically because I had a feeling it's gonna wind up happening.
The odds are in your favor.
Right.
Oh my God!
Bat.
Oh, not out of the bottle. You're going an old-fashioned class.
The Strannies comes with a shot glass, and I have already overserved myself in this. Oops. Down the hatch.
So now we skip into the next.
No, he's got to keep going until
gotta
then.
Stay
going.
up until we're done with this.
No, but no one's had to do 2 yet.
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's right, I did. Okay.
Give her a spin. Oh my God. Way spread. Can somebody look up Jacksonville State has? Or here, I got it.
I was like, I
Jacksonville-
can't get you screen share.
Jacksonville State minus 3 at Louisiana. All right, so Chiefs Pats. Let's give her another spin here.
Let's go, Pats.
Over and
Oh, boy.
narrowly avoiding taking a second shot. That would be disastrous for the day I've got planned tomorrow. Over 37.
With Bailey Zappi.
Chance. If Chiefs can find a wide receiver that can catch a ball, Chiefs can manage 37. All right, one final spin for Falcons and Panthers. Oh my God!
The double shot.
Oh,
It's almost the holidays.
Enjoy that Stranahan.
We got to get warmed up for the holidays, boys. We're gonna
Enjoy that Stranahan.
oh, fellas. Yeah, this is problematic.
Happy
Cheers.
holidays. It happens.
No, that was a bar shot. That was a big.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna
Yeah,
need
that was
some,
a real. That was a.
I'm
That was
gonna
a
need
real.
some cold pizza for breakfast tomorrow. All right, so Falcons and Panthers. One more. Oh my God, I'm not taking a third. Holy shit, not a chance. All right, one more spin.
You have to.
Way spread. All right, so Falcons minus 3.
I like it. For Carolina,
Bryce Young.
is that right? Is it
Mhm.
Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like.
You know what we could do?
Keep this going because I got a lot more I gotta
Let
say.
the good times roll.
I got a lot more I gotta say.
Put this show out of its misery for our listeners.
Yeah.
That's the
A lot of
first.
problems with you people.
Bring out the poll. Get the poll, the Festivus poll.
Oh, guys, 20 episodes in the book.
20. How
I can't
the
believe
hell
it.
are we at 20?
We wanted to thank everyone so much for being a part of this growing cult of ours. Having so much fun doing it. Every week's getting better and better.
We should
Love the
definitely start a
junkies.
cult, boys.
Love the junkies. Love the Wheel of
Personally
Degeneracy.
send you Kool-Aid if you will join the Juice Boys cult.
Yes, could not do it without any of you. We'll see you next week. We have some fun things in store for the holidays. That's all. That's it.
I think is that it?
That's it. Bye.
Is that
Love.
it? But love, everybody. Love, love.
Bye.